Authority, which operates across the occupied Palestine territory, has been working tirelessly with other UN humanitarians inside Gaza and across the region to aid stricken civilians, often at great personal risk. Meanwhile, numerous urgent calls have been made to the UN, in particular to its Security Council, to assume its responsibilities by taking all urgent measures to stop the bloodshed and avoid a humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. Algeria, which was elected as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council for the period 2024-2025, attaches great importance to the issue of Security Council reform. Algeria continues to reaffirm, through the voice of the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, her commitment to work tirelessly to make the voice of the African continent and its legitimate demands heard. You're still listening to Radio Algeria International, and the international organization Human Rights Watch has criticized the West's silence in the face of the Israeli violation of international humanitarian law, saying its hypocrisy and double standards are blatant. More details with Mohamed Khater.
Human Rights Watch said in a statement published today on its website that the West remains silent regarding Israel's violations of international humanitarian law, while it does not hesitate to denounce Russian violations in the war against Ukraine. The organization's press release underlined that the requirements of international humanitarian law to protect civilians apply to everyone, namely not attacking civilians intentionally or indiscriminately, not taking hostages, not punishing civilians for actions committed by other individuals, and not blocking the delivery of humanitarian aid. Unlike the situation in Ukraine, where efforts have been made to mobilize international support for Kiev and isolate Russia, the world is now witnessing a muted response to the devastating harm inflicted on civilians by the Israeli blockade and attack on Gaza. Human Rights Watch considers that the hypocrisy and double standards of Western countries are blatant and clear, and believes that they risk undermining years of careful work aimed at promoting and unifying standards intended to protect civilians caught in trap of conflicts across the world.
You're still listening to Radio Algeria International, and back to Algeria now. The Faculty of Foreign Languages here in Algiers has organized an international conference at first of the like to be held in Algeria. Let's listen to our colleague James Salmani.
Could you please just tell us a little bit about this event?
Well, this event is the first time that the Faculty of Foreign Languages organizes an international conference with the help of all teachers from all the departments, because usually we'll find that the English department will do their conference alone by themselves, other departments. So it's the first time that we worked together to give birth to this scientific event. It was a lot of work, hard work, but inshallah it will be successful. We have participants from different regions of Algeria and outside Algeria, like Turkey, China, France, Italy, Canada, Portugal, China, but most of them will intervene online. Okay.
What are the main aspects that you will tackle during the next 3 days?
As you know, there are 5 languages, so communications will be held in 5 languages. So there will be an amphitheater for every language, and for every workshop they will treat about the interrelation between foreign languages, societies, traditions, cultures, and this transculturality that is different cultures.
And could you tell us just a little bit about the importance of this event?
It is important mainly nowadays because it's of the others. We are different. We speak different languages. We have different traditions, different cultures, but we are united by humanity. This is what brings us all together, humanity. And we want to embrace the difference, accept the difference, tolerate the difference, accept the other with all the differences, and look for the positive point.
The three-day conference, which is marked by the holding of several workshops, is aimed at bringing together the linguistic and cultural diversities around the same objective, which is transculturality. You're still listening to Radio Algeria International, and I invite you now to listen to an economic program presented by Mohammed Khatel, to be followed by another special interview on the ongoing Israeli aggression on the Palestinian territories.
Tel Hamza Wed Amizur Zinc and Lead project is a high-grade zinc and lead project located within the Wed Amizur lease area in the province of Bijaya in eastern Algeria. The project has been granted the status of public utility on account of its importance for the Algerian economy and its development. As a matter of fact, the Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohamed Al-Qab, indicated that the zinc-lead deposit of Tel Hamza Wed Amizur represented one of the world's largest reserves of these strategic metals, whose exploitation will boost economic growth in Algeria. We have the honor to host the Director General of Western Mediterranean Zinc, WMZ, which is the joint venture in charge of managing the project, Ms. Miriam Touati. Ms. Touati, hello and welcome to Radio Algeria International.
Thank you.
First of all, could you please give us a small overview of the Tel Hamza Wed Amizur Zinc and Lead project, how it started and who started it?
Tel Hamza Wed Amizur Zinc and Lead project is a joint venture between the Algerian public company Sonarem. It's the National Mining Research and Exploitation Company through its two subsidiaries, ENOF and ORGM. So this JV, this joint venture, was created in 2006 under the name of Western Mediterranean Zinc, WMZ. So the Algerian part, ENOF and ORGM shareholding is 51%, and Terramin Australia shareholding is 49%. The main objectives of the joint venture is the evaluation of the Tel Hamza Amizur zinc and lead deposit reserves, exploration of the surrounding area of the deposit, carrying out the technical and economical feasibility study, and finally, operation of the deposit.
The Ministry of Energy and Mines has recently affirmed that all technical and financial conditions have been met for the effective launch of the project. When will the project kick off officially?
Yes, actually a detailed feasibility study was carried out by internationally renowned offices, including several technical aspects like the exploitation, processing, environmental impact, as well as the economic study. So all necessary studies have been completed and validated by the competent authorities to assess the impact of the deposit exploitation, which allows us to launch the project before the end of the year, inshallah.
The instruction of launching the project as soon as possible was given by the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, during a Council of Ministers meeting. This is evidence of the importance the President personally grants to this mine. In your opinion, how will the project contribute to developing the region and enhancing Algeria's economy in general?
Yes, so it was actually the subject of the national conference held on October 7 of this year at the University of Bijaya, under the topic of the rarefaction of mineral resources and positioning of Algeria, also the role of the zinc lead deposit of Tel Hamza Wed Amizur. So the increased global demand for metals and associated products in many industrial sectors had led the rarefaction of some of them, making access to these metal a direct issue on international markets. Hence, certainly the need to put in place proactive solution in the field of research, prospecting and exploitation to ensure their availability and meet local demand while reinforce Algeria's share in the global market. So the zinc and lead mine project, with its 53 million of tons of resources and exploitable reserves of 34 million tons for a production of 2 million tons per year, meet this local need and yes, certainly reinforce the share of our country in the world market, without forgetting, of course, the local advantages like the creation of more than 700 direct jobs and 4,000 indirect jobs for the benefits of the university graduates, vocational training centers, and also the young people in the region.
The first feasibility study was based on a mining method known as the block caving method, but was soon replaced by another method which is more eco-friendly and which has less footprint on the mining lease and the environment. Could you please give us more details on this particular method?
The first feasibility study was in fact based on a mining method block cave, the mass caving, but it was not quickly replaced as you mentioned, but it took 4 years from 2010 to 2014 to replace it by the backfill method, which required the redesign of all the feasibility study. So this operating method allows the extraction of ore in low resistance rock, which is the case of the rock in the area here, Talla Hamza and Amizour, and it consists of descending galleries to extract the ore which will be treated in the processing plant by a flotation system. Approximately 70% of the processing rejects from the plant will be used as a backfill inside the galleries, which makes the use of the tiling dam unnecessary. And the water coming from the mine is completely treated in the water treatment plant on inside the site of the mine, and this is what makes this method very protective for the environment.
So, Ms. Tweti, allow me to go back to a very important aspect, which is the aspect related to the impact on the environment. How is this aspect tackled in the feasibility study? What can we say to reassure the citizens of the region and Algerians as a whole?
Yes, the environmental study were carried out by internationally renowned offices such as ATC William. So all the environmental aspects were carefully studied: hydrology of surface and groundwater, biodiversity, air quality, noise pollution, climate, soil and river sediments, water management plan, cultural and archaeological legacy, visual aesthetics. So, and also as I explained earlier for the extraction method, the back and fill, it's a very protective method for the environment.
Ms. Tweti, thank you very much indeed for this rich interview. I recall that you are the Director General of Western Mediterranean Zinc, WMZ, which is the joint venture in charge of managing the project in Algeria. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Hello, dear listeners, and welcome on our waves. Today we have with us on the phone Mr. Adnan Abu Hasna, who is UNRWA media advisor and spokesperson. Mr. Adnan, you're joining us from the besieged Gaza. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
I would like to start the interview by expressing condolences as tens of your colleagues were unfortunately killed in the Israeli attacks.
Yes, we have nearly 36 from our colleagues that have been killed since the start of the escalation on 7th of October. But we believe that the number is higher than that because of the huge destruction, and there's no ability actually to remove the rubble, and so we believe we may have a higher number of colleagues who have been killed during this escalation.
Mm-hmm. In addition to the pain of losing your colleagues who are doing humanitarian work in the Gaza Strip, how do such crimes affect humanitarian work in Gaza?
There is a clear message that there is no safe place in Gaza. Everyone is exposed to be attacked any moment. Despite that we are in UN installations, we have the blue flag, hovering over our buildings. We are sending all the GPS to Israeli authority twice a day, so that no one can tell us that after that they attacked us mistakenly. But unfortunately, that we have been attacked. Nearly 40 of our installations have been, hit directly or indirectly. And we have also 14 of displaced people have been killed in our schools, and nearly 200 have been injured. So it's a message, a clear message that you are in Gaza, whether if you are in an installation or you are in the street or the hospital and everywhere, you might be attacked without any warning.
Mm-hmm. So could you give us an overview on the current humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip?
It's clear that we are heading toward a real catastrophe in the Gaza Strip. That we don't have fuel, and according to the statement of UNRWA Commissioner General, that the fuel for our operation will finish, after 48 hours from now. So it means that our operation will be suspended. It means that no fuel for bakers, no fuel for desalination plants, no fuel for sewage system, no fuel for hospitals. So I believe there will be no fuel coming into Gaza today or after tomorrow. It means that we are heading towards a real catastrophe in the Gaza Strip. We have a real problem in drinkable water. People are drinking, dirty water directly from water wells without any treatment because of the lack of electricity, lack of fuel. Mm-hmm. Also, food is, fading out from, the market in Gaza, and you can see lines of hundreds of meters on the bakers. People are, waking up very early in the morning to go in line, to get some bread. And for hospitals also, the sector, the health sector, even, suffering a lot even before the military operation, before the escalation. And Gaza used to send their patients to Egypt, West Bank, and Jordan. And all the time, the health sector and hospitals, they were at the edge of collapsing all the time. So now, how can they cope with thousands of people that had been killed and more than 15,000 that had been injured? They don't have the capabilities or the capacity to cope what is going on. Their lack of everything, lack of medicine, lack of instruments, lack of technical experience also. They don't have.
Mr. Adnan, 3 convoys of a total of 54 trucks entered Gaza since Saturday through the Rafah border crossing, carrying water, food and medicine, but no fuel, as you said earlier. And also these products are not enough. They cannot meet the necessities of the people in Gaza. What is your comment on that? And how many convoys or trucks should carry products to at least meet the minimum of the needs of the of Gazans?
Yeah, we are welcoming, the opening of Rafah crossing point to get, humanitarian need into Gaza. But, they are sending now 20 trucks, 15 trucks per day, and it's like a drop in the ocean. Mm-hmm. The humanitarian need is huge. What we need more than 100 trucks per day, so we can cope what is going on. We are not talking about the quality of life in Gaza. We just talk about life, any life. We want to keep people surviving. This is the mission, now. We need fuel to get into Gaza. We need medicine. We need mattresses, blankets. We need everything. We need everything. But, to get daily paid, like 20 trucks and 14 trucks, I think it's not enough. We need to accelerate the process, to accelerate also to increase the number of trucks with different types of needs, in medicine and food and water and non-food items also, and everything.
Mm-hmm. Of course. So, Mr. Adnan, the world has witnessed the Israeli flagrant bombings of hospitals, killing hundreds of people, including patients and medical staff, in addition to humanitarian staff, as you just said. How does that add to the already dire humanitarian crisis?
I think that after 48 hours, we will be facing first catastrophe. It will be in the no interest of anyone, to the Israeli Palestinians regionally, and we are talking now about 2.3 million Palestinians that they are facing a catastrophe that they never faced before. They never expected something like that. Especially the hospitals, now they are working on generators only, and the generators will stop after 48 hours, maximum 72 hours, and after that there will be no ability to treat or to receive injured or kill people or ordinary sick people that they have no place now. There is no place for them now. Yeah.
Mr. Adnan, why, in your opinion, is the United Nations incapable of making the Israeli army stop the bombings for humanitarian purposes, or at least stop bombing hospitals, homes, and schools?
Look, we are communicating with everybody. The United Nations, the SD, Mr. Guterres, the Commissioner General of UNRWA, Philippe Lazzarini, and the Egyptian, the Jordanian regionally, with the EU, with everybody, that we need help. We need a humanitarian corridor for food, for aid, humanitarian aid. We need that. You have to assist us, to help us, and we cannot imagine that after a few days that we see everything stop together. This war must stop immediately, because the suffering is huge, and no one can bear, especially, civilians, and they need protection. There is a law for every war that the civilian must be protected, the civilian must be provided with their basic needs, like treatment, like water, like food. This is the normal thing in the world. But now nothing like that happening. I believe that we are heading towards something unprecedented, and it will be huge, and it will be a very catastrophic moment in the very soon, I believe.
Mr. Adnan, now that we said that the ceasefire is urgent and it should immediately be imposed, can you make a call for ending this flagrant genocide?
We call all parties, everyone who has influence, that we need a ceasefire. We need, we need a humanitarian corridor. We need people. We need to get food and medicine and fuel before seeing people starving, dying, and before seeing hospitals, collapsing, and everything now the brink of collapse, and we must know that.
Thank you so much for joining us from Gaza, Mr. Adnan Abu Hasna.
Thanks.
Despite the current challenging situation in the enclave, please stay safe, and we hope to talk to you again in better conditions for you and for all Palestinians.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
العالم يتغير وبسرعة، ونحن نتابع وبدقة.